Now live from Palin Music Studios in Springfield, Missouri, it's Wake Up with Greg. Here's your host, Greg.
Hey, good morning, friends, and welcome to Wake Up with Greg. I am your host, Greg Rosander with Palin Music Center. It's great to be here this morning. It's a beautiful Tuesday, sun shining outside, warming back up again. We got that first taste of fall this last week, and now we're back to summer. So that's Missouri for you. It's going to change up. Never know what it's going to be like. So hopefully we'll get a cool down later this year. I hear fall's coming early this year, so we can keep our fingers crossed and hope that happens. I know all the kiddos are back in school this week, so life is getting a little bit back to normal. But normal is crazy for us around here. This is our big, crazy back to school season time of year. We call it rental season, where we got thousands of instruments going out the door and people scrambling all over the place to get kids started in music. So we're having a lot of fun around here, guys. So I'm glad you're here. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. For those of you new to this show, wondering who we are and why we're doing this, well, this is, as I said, Wake Up with Greg, a daily morning show every weekday morning, 8:30 a.m. Central, right here on our Palin Music Band and Orchestra channel to share the internet's coolest instruments with you. These are instruments available for you to purchase on our website at palinmusic.com, or by giving me a call at 417-882-7006, or checking out our Reverb page at reverb.com. We've got a lot of great deals on there. I haven't decided if this whole week is going to be saxophone week, but we've started out with a bang. We had some great saxophones yesterday. I've got another trio of saxophones for you today, and tying it in with the music and the something cool, it's going to be an all saxophone all day kind of thing. So stick with us for that, because it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm sure you will enjoy it. So in addition to the cool saxophones or other instruments we share, we just like to share fun and laughs and share music, maybe art, literature, films, whatever comes to mind, whatever I think you guys might be interested in, something that I've been interested in, travel, food, it can be anything. I mean, yesterday we did a Swedish fish tasting, so you never know what it's going to be. It's just kind of crazy around here. So I'm glad you're here. Good morning, Max and Mom, and Vincent is here. All right, I'll do my best to wake you up, Vincent. I got my coffee rolling today too. Got my Hawaiian coffee. We're going to figure this out and get some of this coffee into your hands, guys. Good stuff. So yeah, that's what we do. That's why we're here. We're going to have some fun. We've got the live stream chat going on. Again, the best way to interact with you guys, you can leave your comments, you can ask your questions, I can give you a shout out. I'd love to know where you're watching from in the world. As I stated, we're in Springfield, Missouri, right here in the heart of the good old USA. But we've had viewers from all over the world watching this show, and it's been extremely cool. I think we're up to 23 different countries now that have at least chimed in on the chat to let me know where they're watching from. So it could be a whole lot more than that. Northwest Life is here from Portland, Oregon. Well, good morning. Good to have you here. It's early over there on the West Coast, but glad you're here nonetheless. Great way to wake up today. So the only thing I ask on the chat, keep your comments clean, polite, and appropriate. This is a family show, so we don't want to, bog it down with any inappropriate things or, politics or religion or any of that kind of stuff. Let's just keep it clean and fun, and that way we can all have a great time together. So that's kind of the story for the morning. Of course, we've got the like, comment, subscribe, share, all of those things to do. So please click all of the buttons that you need to click to make that happen. I really appreciate it. Watering the garden at 6:35 in the morning. That's a good time to water. You want to get it done before the sun gets too hot and bakes all your plants. So good stuff. Yeah, so that's the morning. Let's get this party started. Before we dive into the cool saxophones and other things, let's say a fine good morning to Jordan. Good morning, Jordan.
Good morning.
I like the pause there. It's like, are you going to say good morning?
Who's going to say it
that
first?
My cue? How's it going today?
Pretty good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Glad to have you with us as always.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what's going on?
Oh, let's see. Not too much filming of Chords and Coffee today. So.
Chords and Coffee today?
Yeah.
Excellent. For those of you unaware of Chords and Coffee, it's on our other, one of our many other YouTube channels. Our Palin, I think it's on our standard Palin Music channel, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So My buddy Nate White is out there just teaching y'all how to play the guitar while enjoying some good coffee as well. We do love our coffee around here. So check out Chords and Coffee and give Nate a shout out. Tell him you heard about him from Greg on Wake Up with Greg. He would love that. So yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Do we know what the topic is today?
I don't.
Is it chords, maybe?
Maybe.
And guitars and maybe some
Maybe
coffee?
just coffee. I don't know.
Awesome. Well, all right. So we got that going. Let's dive into some saxophones here, shall we? I think I might try to make some noise on these things. We'll see how it goes.
Yes.
It's early in the morning and my lip's not warm, but we'll do our best here. So yeah, let's just dig into that.
Yeah.
Why don't we?
Yes, it'll be great.
It'll be great.
Okay, before we get the first horn out, can you tell us about your shirt and watch today?
Oh yes, the shirt and watch. Tommy Bahama today. You know, one of my two top all-time faves. You've probably, if you've seen this show before, you've seen this shirt, but just kind of a neat little, I don't know, what do they call that, a mandala pattern or something like that? I can't remember what it's called, but I like it. It's nice and cozy and soft and light and summery and fun. So yeah, that's the Tommy Bahama shirt. And then the watch, this is Bulova, right? Okay, for all of you watch fiends out there. I'm just if I can get a good shot of it. There we go. It's kind of sideways. Got a date marker at the 3 o'clock. Very simple, very clean, but classic. Yeah, so that's my Bulova watch. A gift from my wife many, many years ago. One of the first ones she got me, actually. Got a big scratch on the crystal, though. I need to have somebody take a look at that, see if we can buff that out. All right, so that's the shirt and the watch. Let's dig into some saxophones. First item up for grabs. Here we go. This case honestly doesn't look a lot different than the cases I showed with the Chateau saxes yesterday, but maybe a little bit higher grade. This is, I mean, the saxophone is definitely higher grade, but this is a Yamaha case, and there, you know, as with everybody's doing these days, it's kind of hidden in this back pocket here, but you've got the backpack straps hiding in there, so you can wear it like a backpack. Makes it easy to carry around. Lots of accessory storage, big pocket on the top of the case, so lots of room in there. This is the Yamaha YAS 875 EX2 Custom, also known as the Custom EX. This is one of 3 different professional model saxes that Yamaha offers. Their most famous model, the YAS 62, which is kind of their bread and butter model that can do everything kind of horn. Got a couple others on the show this morning. SB, is that a Casio? No, not a Casio. Yeah, so that's the YS 62, and then this is the 875, which is the next tier, and then there's the 82Z Custom as well, which are the kind of 3 levels. The 62 is, like I said, kind of the all-purpose, can do anything kind of horn. The 875 here would be kind of positioned in that, more in that classical world, you know, for the, you know, symphonic orchestral players. But that doesn't mean you can't play other stuff on it. I mean, it's a fantastic saxophone. It's got a really rich, warm sound. So you can do anything with this, but kind of positioned more towards that classical sound. All of the features that you want, of course, full poster rib construction, high F sharp, front F, beautiful hand engraving on the bell there. And just on the bell, I don't think they've got it kind of all over the place like they're doing on some of the horns these days, but fine adjustments throughout, adjustable thumb hook on the back, detachable bell and bow, all the great features that you want. So let's see if we can make some noise on this. I'm going to do my best here. Got the neck. Like I said, this is the 875, YAS 875 Custom. Can I do it with the gloves on? Let's try it with the gloves. Hope I don't get too slippery here. Let's see. This is not warmed up, guys, so brace yourselves. Ah, I'm stuck. Got my gloves stuck on the mouthpiece there. All right, let's see what happens. Brace yourselves. Pretty. Man, really easy to blow in the bottom end there. So, yeah, I mean, that's just kind of a simple little taste of what it sounds like. Really nice, sweet sound. Yamaha is really kind of known for their, for lack of a better term, they're more sweet sounding, maybe less raw. The 82 might be a little bit different. It's a bit of an edgier horn, a bit brighter sounding. But man, they've just got a really sweet pure tone. Intonation is flawless on these things. And that's one of the main things that Yamaha is known for, just the precision with which they are made, with the intonation and just the setup. Italian leather pads, do these have metal or plastic tone boosters? I don't know. You know what? I think they're plastic, surprisingly enough. It doesn't matter, they're still gonna work. All right, so that is the YAS 875 EX Custom. Cork's a little tight, maybe need some cork grease on there. So you can pick this up on our website right now at palinmusic.com or by giving us a call at 417-882-7006 or check out our Reverb page at reverb.com. Just a quick comment once again about the chat. We're already having to, shut down some messages that are inappropriate. Let's just keep it clean and friendly and polite. Like I said, this is a family show. We've been having a slew of this stuff this week, and I'm not sure why, but I'd appreciate it if y'all be nice. So there we go. That's the saxophone number 1, the Yamaha YAS 875 EX2 Custom. What do we got next, Mr. Jordan?
Can you recommend some music to us today?
I got a whole slew of music for you today. But I'm going to start it off with one album in particular, one artist in particular. And this is the artist of the day. I'm going to grab this other saxophone while I'm here. Set this one aside. This, and if you've been watching this show for any time, we are coming in on episode 130 here before the end of the week, I think. So you've been here a while, you've seen the show, you know who I am by this time, and you know that I have a love for the band Spyro Gyra. I'm going to take this plastic cover off so you can see this a little bit better. In my opinion, one of the greatest jazz groups of all time. Certainly one of the most prolific, certainly one of the most well-known, one of the most versatile groups. I mean, they span all kinds of genres, not just, jazz fusion, but, they've got some pop and some rock and stuff in there as well. Their latest album, I say latest, it came out in 2019 called Vinyl Tap. It's actually their first album that's just like purely covers, but it's all covers of classic rock tunes, and it's just really cool. But this is the album that started it all back in 1975. I think it may have been released in 76, but the band was formed in 1974, and they've been around and still going strong, still out there touring. The personnel has changed over the years, but the core members are still there, Jay Beckenstein and Tom Schumann and Julio Fernandez and a few of the others. But a lot of guys come in and out of that group, and some of the greatest musicians around have been a part of this group, or at least performed with them. This is their self-titled album, Spyro Gyra. Spyro Gyra, this is the first one. And we're just gonna kick it off with side 1, track 1. If you've ever seen the movie High Fidelity, they talk about a lot of different top 5 things. What's your top 5 favorite books, or what's your top 5 favorite this and that? And they do a segment of top 5 side 1, track 1 albums, which I think is pretty cool. So really the song that started it all for these guys, Shaker Song, it's on the album here, number 1, side 1, track 1, right there, Shaker Song. And it's just a fun, upbeat, it's just a lot of, there's really no other way to describe it. It's just a fun song. They've recorded it multiple times throughout their careers on a few of their live albums and whatnot. The version on Rhodes Scholars is just outstanding, and it goes like 12 minutes long, I think. But I've got it here on Spotify as well, so I can add it to the Wake Up with Greg playlist. that you have available to you. It's a public list on Spotify where you can check out all of the songs I've recommended on this show for the past 130 episodes. And you got well over 10 hours worth of music worth listening to. And so this one is going to get added to it right now. The song is called Shaker Song. The group is Spyro Gyra. The album is also Spyro Gyra. And we are adding that to the playlist right now. So you've got it ready to listen to today. So that's my musical selection for the day. We're going to talk more about this band here in a little bit as I've got some more fun stuff to show you. But why don't we dig into saxophone number 2? And it's hard to play with the gloves. I'm just going to, we're going to risk the fingerprints. I'll wipe the fingerprints off later after we're done. This is one of the top saxophones on the market today. Really amazing case here, hard molded carbon fiber case. And this is from the legendary Julius Keilwerth. German-made saxophones, some of the best saxophones made in the world. And this one is no exception. This one is, man, I don't want to touch it, but I want to touch it, but I need to. If I'm going to make noise on it, I got to use my fingers here, folks. So, but let's show it to you first. This is the Shadow, the SX90R Shadow. And what's so amazing about this horn is not just in the way it looks, but what it is comprised of. This is a solid nickel silver saxophone. So 99% of the saxophones we show on this show are brass in one form or another, brass or bronze or red brass, so solid copper like the Solista from Ramponi Kazani. But this one is taking it in the opposite direction. We get the nickel silver, which is just should be, I don't know if I can make it sound as bright as it probably is, but it's going to have a really bright, punchy sound. This is a great rock sax, a great jazz saxophone for really, if you want to be heard above your group, when you got guitars and drums just blaring behind you and you want to be heard, this is the saxophone for you. And a great stage presence because this is just a stunner of a horn. Engraving all over the place on this thing, beautifully done, hand artistry all throughout. We've got the bright silver plated keys on this, which really give it a nice contrast. And then some really unique details. You've got the black mother of pearl key touches there, which are just rich and elegant. And then to top it off, you've got black pads as well. I think they might be Rue pads. I would have to really dig into the research and make sure that that's accurate. But certainly high-grade black leather pads with metal tone boosters, and I think these are nickel silver tone boosters as well. So this is the Shadow. This is their top-of-the-line saxophone, and it is just beautiful. Even got engraving on the lip of the bell there, so lots of fun. I'm going to set that on the gloves. Engraving on the neck as well. Really beautiful engraving there. This is a gorgeous horn, guys, not just in appearance, but in its sound and feel as well. One of the trademark features of the Keilwerth saxophones are these adjustable palm keys you've got. I don't know if you can really see that, but they're it comes with a little special wrench that you can loosen those and tighten those. So you can extend them out, make them come out further for you've got larger hands, or you can, tighten them in for smaller hands. Really customizable to make it an extremely comfortable feeling saxophone for you. I should have probably put some cork grease on these this morning, but that's all right. Let's, excuse me, let's see what kind of noise I can make with this today. Oh, let me get my mouthpiece in the right position there. Hopefully we'll make it work. Oh my gosh. I mean, just the first open note right out of the gate, that's got some power behind it. Are we getting, do you know if it's coming across distorted like it did before? Holy smokes. I'll be honest, I haven't played this horn before, but my gosh, this is, you want a saxophone that's going to cut through everything? This is going to be the one to do it. But dynamically, you can still get really soft with it as well. Yeah, that's a monster right there, guys. What's my buddy John saying here? Played trumpet professionally since '67. Selmer, Bach, Benz, Yamaha, Stomvy, Schilke. Bach 37R I bought through you is the best horn I've ever had. Fantastic, John. I'm so glad to hear that. John bought a Bach 37R from us a few months back and is absolutely loving it. And it's I'm so glad you're happy with that, John. Spread the word. Tell all your friends. I know you do. You are one of our great promoters out there. So love you, brother. Thank you. Max, the poor Mike can't handle the power of that sax. Yeah, maybe true, right? All right. There we go. So that's the Kyleworth SX90R Shadow. You see where it says Shadow there on the bell there? Yeah, Shadow. It's just dark and, you know, it's kind of like a Marvel Comics character. Shadow. Is Shadow Marvel or is that DC? I can't remember.
Oh, not a good question for me.
I know, yeah. I need to ask Kyle or somebody that's in the know about that kind of stuff. Squeak, squeak with the cork. All right. We'll get my fingerprinties off of this after the show, guys. But, man, if you want a just absolutely amazing horn, this is the one for you. I'd love to ship it to you today. And, you know, so you can have new saxophone day. Alberto's on the show. Spicy, he says. Love it. I got one last beast of a saxophone here for you. And we'll share that one with you in a moment.
All right.
First,
can you show us something cool first?
Cool. I sure can. So, like I said, Spirogyra, one of my favorite groups of all time. And, you know, certainly came to presence in the era of vinyl. And by vinyl, I mean, you know, LP records, vinyl records. And I happen to have quite a collection of them. I don't have all of them. In fact, well, because when they switched to CDs, I stopped buying the vinyl and I got all the CDs. So I wish maybe that their CDs are also available on vinyl. Harder and harder to come by these days, though, even though vinyl is having a big resurgence. But I'm just going to kind of hit the highlights on this collection here for you. Spirogyra, self-titled. Next up, we have Spirogyra. This one is Morning Dance, which is probably their most famous song of all time. It's the one that kind of features the steel drums. You know, you've heard it. You've had to have heard it at some point in your life. And I'm embarrassed to say this, but you may have heard it in an elevator. You may have heard it in a grocery store. I don't know. Some people call us elevator music. It's not, in my opinion. This is just good, great, fantastic music. But the album cover art on this is just outstanding, right? I mean, they really have got outstanding album covers. So that's Morning Dance. Following that, we have Carnival. All right, got the big parrot on there. Really fun, festive album. Got a little clown bouncing through the streets on the back there. And then a little different, you know, Free Time. We got Free Time next with the young lady with the headphones there. Not sure, I guess that's the, I don't know, the ocean on the back on there, but one of their biggest selling albums, Incognito. Again, the artwork on these album covers. Guys, you know, we need to really bring this back because there's so much tactile joy to having an actual record in your hands and reading the liner notes and just all the great stuff. That's Incognito. Access All Areas. This was their first live album, I believe. It's a double album. Actually, no, I think it's just, no. Are there two in there? Yeah, maybe there's two. Live concert albums, Access All Areas. We're just going to buzz through these. Alternating Currents. Got a big hurricane there. The first Spirogyra album I ever got, and this is the one I have on the shelf of the set back here. City Kids. This one came out in 1985, I believe. But again, just love the artwork on there. And the music is fantastic. One of my favorites of all of the Spirogyra albums, Breakout. Breakout is just an absolutely killer album. There's the group there. And every one of the pictures of the band is going to have a variety of different people in it. Sadly, they've also lost a few members. One of the most iconic members, Dave Samuels of the group, was the vibraphone marimba player. and sadly lost him a few years ago. And I believe it was to Alzheimer's or a similar degenerative brain disease, which is just heartbreaking. This is Stories Without Words. Fantastic there. And then Rites of Summer. So there you go. That's just kind of my sampling vinyl collection for Spyro Gyra. I do know that they produced and released 20 albums in 20 years. So from 1975 to 1995, they released an album a year. I mean, so talk about prolific. And you figure every album's got at least eight songs on it. So, I mean, that's a ton of music. And that's just what was released on the albums. I mean, these guys are just incredible. Jay Beckenstein, the saxophone player and leader of the group, he has a sound that I always strive for when I'm playing saxophone. He's just got a purity of sound. It's not harsh and raw. You know, Sanborn was the big thing in the 70s and 80s, even the 90s, and his sound has been so iconic. And what I appreciate about Jay Beckenstein is he kept his sound his own. He didn't try to emulate Sanborn or any of the other guys that were doing it at that time. He's got just a really beautiful, beautiful tone. Used to play the Yamaha 60. Speaking of the Yamahas, he played a Yamaha 62 for years. Sadly, I used to work for the LA Sax Company. That's not the sad part. The sad part is Jay Beckenstein became an LA Sax artist like months after I left that company to move on to different things. So that's kind of a bummer. I never actually got to work with the guy. But anyway, all right, I'm rambling enough. That's enough about Spyro Gyra. You need to check him out. Get on Spotify. Get on any of your other music streaming services and look them up because they're all over the place. Or go to a record shop and buy some old vinyl. And listen to it the right way. All right, that's that. Let's dig into one final saxophone, shall we? You get one more sip of juice here. All right. Last one up. And this is, I say this a lot, tip of the top, cream of the crop. As elite as you can get of a saxophone. This is the Selmer Supreme, guys. And even Selmer, on their high-end saxophones, they got backpacks. So we want them to be all backpacky all the way around. Case custom designed by BAM for Selmer. So BAM, the European case manufacturer, which check out our website. I do have some BAM cases available that are really cool. But this is just a gorgeous case. Lots of accessory compartments. A fun little triangular pocket on the top here. I don't know if it's just, you can just store some stuff in there. But let's check out the beauty of this beast, if we shall, if we may, if we can. We can, and we shall, and we will. All right. One thing I love with these, they have this blanket that has the same pattern of engraving that is engraved on the body. So all of that artwork detail that you see on that blanket right there is actually engraved on this horn. So you can kind of get the detail. It's hard to see on this when I show you because it's a matte finish horn. So it's not going to be as easy to see that detail. But one of the most beautiful saxophones, I think, ever made in the history of saxophones. And Selmer would agree because this is the culmination of over 100 years of Selmer saxophone design. Of course, we've talked about this before. Selmer kind of inherited the entire saxophone world by acquiring the original Adolph saxophone shop and parts when he passed. And so some of the first Selmer saxophones ever made were actually made from Adolph sax parts originally in France. So extremely cool, beautiful. This is the Supreme. The model number is the 92M for matte finish. Comes in a variety of finishes, but this matte with the contrasting gold keys, it is just absolutely beautiful, guys. I don't know what else I can say about it. I'm going to make some noise on it here. And Selmer, as you know, they are known for their tone, for their sound, for their facility, the action of the saxophones, the ergonomics, just everything about these things is just top of the world here. So let's get that in place. Let's tighten down that collar there. And let's see what we can do with this one. Again, no cork grease, so I apologize for that. There we go. All right. All three of these horns completely different in their sound and their feel. This one has a definite certain richness to it, that warmth and purity of the saxophone tone. Really different. I mean, the Yamaha was kind of clean and clear and, like I said, sweet sounding. The Kyleworth just raunchy, maybe is the word. I don't know if that's the right word, but man, so great. Hey, Sanjeet is here. Thank you for being on the show. Yeah, she's beautiful for sure. And I have another one of these in stock in the dark lacquer finish as well. We'll maybe show that one later this week. Unless somebody buys it today, which would be great. So you can get two of them. Get a matte finish and get a dark lacquer one. Everybody needs a backup sax, right? So why not have two of the best saxophones in the world, the Selmer Supreme, live on our website at palinmusic.com, or by giving me a call at 417-882-7006, or by checking out our Reverb page at reverb.com. For those of you questioning or curious at all about my mouthpiece setup, I mean, you haven't asked, but I'm going to tell you anyway. This is the J&D Height commercial jazz alto mouthpiece, hard rubber mouthpiece. Had it for years, just absolutely love it. With an original Harrison H ligature on there, and then Van Doren Red Box Java, French cut Java reeds. So number 3, 2.5, 3, something like that. Anyway, so there you go, guys. That is the trio of saxophones for the day. That case doesn't like to stay open by itself. That's all right. We'll just close it and go with it, right? So what else we got left, Jordan? We're kind of winding the show down, I think. We're nearing the end. Is that right?
Yeah, the only thing left is for you to share wisdom with us.
Share some wisdom. Let's share some wisdom. Somebody else's wisdom. I like sharing other people's wisdom. Huh? Oh, yes, the blanket. Thank you. I almost forgot about the beautiful blanket to put her to bed. Night-night. I'm going to go night-night. All right. We'll set that aside, and we'll bring up our piece of wisdom for you guys. As you know, on this show, I like to kind of end the show with a little piece of musical wisdom from an artist, or it could be anybody. You know, anybody that has a passion or a love for music can have something interesting and insightful to say about it. This artist, however, is a legendary artist by the name of Tom Petty. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers you may have heard of, or the Traveling Wilburys you may have heard of, amongst many others. Sadly, we lost Tom Petty a couple years ago, I think now. Kind of really tragically, because he was, in a sense, retiring, like he was on his last tour, and he was wanting to spend more time with his family and kids and whatnot, and had a heart attack and just gone at age 69. I mean, it's just not fair, man. We lose so many artists way too young in life. I mean, 69 is not young in the grand scheme of things, but when you're getting close to that age, it feels younger and younger. You're like, man, that's just not right. So anyway, what does Tom Petty have to say about music? He says, music is probably the only real magic I have encountered in my life. There's not some trick involved with it. It's pure and it's real. It moves, it heals, it communicates, and it does all of these incredible things. I mean, it's so true. There is a lot of magic in music and what it is capable of doing. I saw a segment on some PBS show years and years ago of an orchestra, and I don't even remember what the composition was or who the composer was that they were performing, but they played the piece, and then they broke it apart into, like, I don't know, the brass section played a part, and then the string section played a part, and the wind section played a different part. And everything sounded completely different. Didn't even sound like it was part of that same song. And they played it all separately, so it sounded, you know, like 3 different songs. And then when they played it all together, it made this cohesive new thing. And it truly was magical how music can just do that, and it can change and flow. And we've talked multiple times on the show about the healing power of music and what it can do for you, but let me read it one more time. Music is probably the only real magic I've encountered in my life. There's not some trick involved with it. It's pure and it's real. It moves, it heals, it communicates, and it does all of these incredible things. So there you go. Thank you, Tom Petty, for that insightful quote. That's the end of the show, folks. I really appreciate you all being here today. We will be back here tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Central, right here. So be sure to stay tuned for that. And have a great day. I hope you were able to get a little energy out there and get some coffee and get your day going right. Remember this, helping people make meaningful music is what we do. And when you're ready, I'm here for you too. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye-bye.